There we go. Right, we are live. Need to go get Devan. He is online somewhere. Let's find him. Hello, champion.
How's it going?
Good, thanks yourself.
Yeah, excellent, thank you.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Have you got your cuppa?
I have indeed. It's
awesome.
Costa's own espresso machine. But not endorsed anyway.
Right, so I have never played Terraria before. I've done like maybe half an hour of like getting used to the controls and all that sort of thing. That's as far as I've gotten. You've got me some things. You're killing things with with stars. So for those who don't know, Devan is the vocalist of a band called Stitched from the where are we going? Black Country, is it? Or
yeah, say Black Country.
We'll just say from the Black Country in England. If you don't know what that means, Google it. So
give a quick rundown.
You'll give you a quick rundown of it. Yeah. First question, as per usual, how did the band actually form? Because you guys formed really close to COVID, didn't you?
Yes. So, me and my friend Michael had been in a band for a while called Torn Ends.
Torn Ends, yeah?
Yeah, Torn Ends. It was a very... Basically, there's a song by Metallica called Frayed Ends of
okay.
Sanity.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know the one.
And we initially called ourselves Frayed Ends.
Mm-hmm.
Because why not rip off one of the big four?
Have you heard my new hardcore band, Enter Sandman?
Yeah. Basically, what happened was we just kind of messed around for years, got a band together, and then by the time we'd gotten a little bit bored of Torn Ends, we just kind of said, right, let's start something else.
Yep.
And came up with Stitched. It's not inherently because you stitch two ends together.
I was going to say, is there a connection there?
We're just very unimaginative, basically. So yeah, we started that, and I was in a side project at the time with one of the members from Old War called Judgment. It didn't go anywhere, but our good friend Aidan Page, he was playing bass in the band at the time, and we just we were basically just collecting members at the time and see what we could do. So he joined. We had a drummer at the time, but the less said about him, the better. And basically from there, I was like, if we're going to play shows, we need some music out. So
yeah,
released our debut single, played a gig. It was January 2020, so right before the world ended.
Just before it happened, yeah.
Yeah, so it was pretty much right before. Played Scruffy Murphy's in Birmingham with MTXS.
I was going to say, is that a venue, Scruffy Murphy's?
It is, and interestingly enough, it's actually just renovated, and it's really nice now, actually.
Is it just called Murphy's now?
Yeah, Clean Murphy's.
Clean Murphy's. Shaved Murphy's.
Yeah. Shaved Murphy's. Yeah, we played Derby after that, which is great, because we've never played. Me and Michael have never played outside the West Midlands, so it's kind of big play outside of our area straight away. And we played a show in Bristol, which was cool as well, because it's quite far from us. And then a week later, everything kind of went downhill because of COVID. And that was that story, basically.
Yeah, because that kind of leads into my second question. Like, you guys got together like not too long before the pandemic. Do you feel like this stunted the growth of the band, or did you use that time to actually grow whilst the world was like at a standstill?
I think because no one really understood what was going on at first. Mm-hmm. We kind of we were like, it'll probably only be for, a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months.
Yeah. And
then we'll just be back to normal. So we just kind of, because we had such a quick start to the band, like we played 3 gigs within the first 2 months of us being a band, and that was, we'd released an EP and done all that. So we were we didn't want to stop the train rolling.
Yeah.
And we started we carried on writing basically, and we just kind of started looking into things, and we actually did a music video during lockdown.
Okay.
Very illegal. But looking back, I'm not too bothered about it now. Yeah, so we went from there. We ended up just writing more music and actually recording during lockdown as well. Again, big no-no, but it got 2 songs written, which were pretty solid for what we've done at the time, which was Spoiled, Rotten and Parasite.
Okay, yep.
We really just wanted to like keep it going because we were just waiting around for shows to be back, basically.
Yep.
But it kind of works in our favour because because we had absolutely nothing to do, kind of sit around and just use social media or whatever and kind of just keep getting out there without being able to do shows. And if anything, I think we made more progress on social media in lockdown than we did at any other point.
Because we had that mixture of like people staying at home, being on their phones all the time, which kind of like aided in the fact that we were just going and we were all just sat there, just vegetating essentially.
Yeah, exactly. And I think because we had absolutely nothing to do, we put time into the band, and obviously through the power of the internet, we were all still pretty connected, so we could keep in touch and everything.
No, it's good that you're able to do all that together.
Yeah, it definitely was. And the 2 songs that we wrote and released during lockdown are probably 2 of our like most listened to songs.
Oh, okay, nice one.
So we managed to do music videos for them and put a lot of time into them. And at the time, we were under management as well.
Okay.
So, which was pretty pointless during lockdown because we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
All we could do was promote stuff.
Big things soon when the world reopens.
Yeah, whenever that is. I mean, straight away after lockdown, we played in Bromley in London.
Okay.
And that was kind of...
Was that at the Carved Dive?
It was, yeah.
That is one of my favourite venues.
It's. I don't think it's still really operating how it was then. Because we've looked at trying to get back there because it was a really good night. Oh, this is silver ore.
No, this is lead.
Oh.
And let me give it a taste. Yes, lead.
Oh my god, you've gone green.
Do I look okay? Am I going to make it dark?
you look awful. But yeah, so we got to play there, and then the day after we played in Halifax, which was a crap gig. But you know what?
It was a gig.
Not doing gigs, and it was so good just to actually play gigs again.
Yeah.
Just like, well, we don't really care. We're just happy to be like on the road and doing it, really.
Yeah, we were exactly the same when that happened with us because we were like, we don't care what gigs are happening. A gig's a gig now.
Yeah, exactly. What was your kind of first thing back?
We played a show in Burnley, I believe it was.
Oh, yeah.
Burnley's up north, isn't it? Like right up north.
Funnily enough, Burnley was supposed to be on. We were supposed to do a weekender with Starved.
Okay.
And they pulled out last minute because they couldn't get it back. But in true stitched fashion, we just used the Mondeo.
Whose is the Mondeo? Is that yours?
It's mine.
Yes. What's the scene in the Black Country like in terms of like hardcore or anything heavy? And are there any like bands of note? And I mean like more modern bands.
So it's a very 50-50 scene.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll turn up to a show on a Saturday with a great lineup, and there'll be like 5 people stood there.
Yep.
With their arms crossed. And then sometimes you'll put on a gig in a tiny pub on like a Tuesday afternoon, and it'll be absolutely packed. And it is just hit or miss. You don't know what you're going to get with it. But if you're a local band that's been playing around for a while, like Old Wharf, Suffer, in Wolverhampton, they're always going to draw a crowd.
Yeah.
And we managed to draw a pretty decent crowd in Wolverhampton now as well, because that's our nearby.
Yeah.
Like our closest sort of city. We've got Birmingham. Birmingham's very hit and miss as well, just because there's always something else going on there.
Yeah.
But genuinely, it's good. Old Wharf and Suffer, if you don't know them, you should listen to them, because they are... As it comes with like bands from the Black Country, they're 2 of like the staples of the scene, really.
Yeah,
especially.
They're the 2 bands that come to mind with me, other than you guys.
Yeah, the hardcore bands at the minute, you've got like Torment, Wither. There's so many more like that are just popping up, and every time we play gigs, you know, there'll be some band on that I've never heard of that are local, and they'll get like a really good reaction. So it's I don't know, it's really cool to see, and I feel like that's happening with the hardcore scene like all over the UK at the minute.
I feel like that, yeah, there's definitely like a big resurgence almost of it. But yeah, so Torment, I didn't realize they're actually from your neck of the woods, because we played a show with them not too long ago when we actually did our run with Old Wolf recently. It was in Birmingham, yeah. So I didn't actually realize they were from those sorts of events, which actually explains why so many people turned up to see them.
There might be more.
Not that people wouldn't turn up to see them, just to clarify that. Was it you were saying? Was it with the Mondeo that you got to Holland and stuff? So yes, you actually recently took your first trip to Europe and played shows in Holland, Belgium. How was the experience for you guys, and what would you do differently logistically for overseas shows in future?
The thing I would do differently is to never play the UK again and try and play Europe as much as possible.
I told you.
You did. You said that to me. You sat there in Southampton and you said you'll never want to play in the UK ever again.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's not that the UK is bad. It's just that for some reason the shows in the UK in Europe
are just so much better.
Seem to be so much better, and I think because, I don't know, people seem happier as well. And I think that might have something to do with it.
Which is, it's just such a different experience. It really is, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I think, I don't know, we played with Slope. We got offered a gig in, there's too many names to mention, because over the years, like, I've been in a band. I mean, we've been in Stitch nearly 5 years now.
Yeah.
But you meet so many people, and like, you'll get one offer from someone. You'll meet 5 more people at that gig, and it keeps the train going.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it's a lad called Kieran Dealer.
Oh yeah.
And basically, I was chatting to him at a Wolverhampton gig. It was Appraised. The lads from Appraised used to put that on. They're not around anymore, but they've recently reformed as well.
Okay.
And basically, I was chatting there, and I just said to him, "How do I get a gig in Europe? Because it seems impossible." He gave me a Facebook of someone called Tamara, who lives in the Netherlands.
Yep.
And she was like, "Let me listen to your band." She listened to my band, and she basically put us on straight away. She's like, "Look, I'm having a birthday show in February. You're welcome to come over." And then I was like, "Oh shit, I've got to do this now.
We've actually got to do it now." Yeah.
Yeah, I've got to figure out what the hell I'm doing, because, you know, driving to like Middlesbrough is a lot. Or like to London, I'm like, oh my god, this is really far away.
That is one thing no one outside of the UK will ever understand about people within the UK. Like, the UK is so small that we're just used to it being small. An hour away is like, oh, it's okay, whatever. 3 hours is a bit of like, oh, that's half my day gone. Like, you know, we're used to that.
You've got 2 service station stops there. Someone in the car needs a pee.
Yeah.
Someone wants Greg's. And it's just like, oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, right, so, and as soon as you're like, oh, right, I'm on a roll now. We can't stop. It's like, oh, I need a piss. It's like, oh,
yeah.
Or the dreaded, I need a poo.
Yeah, who had a monster? Come on, own up.
Everyone had a monster.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But yeah, so it was really daunting, because I'm not gonna lie, you guys scared the shit out of me. You're like, you're gonna need a car now. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
You're gonna need this, you're gonna need that. And it all just comes through experience, just trying it and going, okay, that worked.